one of the funniest books at your fall book fair is The Fast and the Furriest. In this book, 12-year-old Kevin Pugh is looking forward to a lazy summer of watching television and just chilling out. His father has other ideas. His father used to play for the professional football team, the Chicago Bears, and he wants Kevin to become a football star. He's even signed Kevin up for football camp. One afternoon, Kevin and his dog Cromwell, a big lazy beagle, are watching television when they see dog agility contests being shown. Dogs are jumping over obstacles, running through tubes, hopping through hoops. Cromwell, the dog who has never been interested in moving at all, suddenly begins to jump and act very excited. Kevin thinks it might be fun to sign Cromwell up for some lessons and see if the two of them can compete in some dog agility contest of their own. Oh dear, Kevin's parents are not happy about that. What is he gonna do? Check out this funny, great book, The Fast and the Furriest.
All you Wimpy Kid fans out there, there's a new book at your fall book fair called Just in Case. It's written a lot like Wimpy Kid. It's a diary about a boy going into the 3rd grade, and he's a little nervous and he's not real popular and things don't usually, ever go right for him. So when he goes into the 3rd grade, he doesn't get the teacher that he wants. He's not in his best friend Daisy's classroom, and nothing seems to be good. He has Miss Termini, who seems like the meanest teacher in the school. Well, he manages to make his life all very funny with lots of things going on. He has a stuffed animal that he talks to named Wingnut, who helps him get through all of his problems. He works really, really hard. He even joins the student council, but the one thing he can't seem to get is that soccer that his dad wants to learn, and he's his coach. Well, he'll keep trying and see what he can do, but he's going to be very, very funny doing it. If you like that Wimpy Kid, I think you'll like Just in Case. Do you wish your parents would let you be more grown up? Do you wish they would let you do more things? If you do, then you're just like the girl named Rory in the book Finally that we have at this year's book fair. Rory wants so much to be treated like a grown-up, but her mom and dad won't let her do anything. They won't let her have a cell phone. They won't let her babysit. They won't even let her walk to the bus. Well, they have told her when she turns 12 she gets to do all these wonderful things and even get her ears pierced. Well, she counts down the days, the minutes, the hours until she's 12 because she knows it'll be just perfect. And one by one she gets all those great things. She's even allowed to get a pet. Do you think it all goes right, or do you think maybe it goes wrong? Well, some things go right, some things go wrong, but in the end, we'll see how Rory handles finally being 12.
In Clementine, Friend of the Week, Clementine is very excited because she has been picked to be the Friend of the Week. She'll get to be the line leader, collect the lunch money, and even feed the classroom pets. Better yet, her classmates get to make a special booklet about her, listing all of the cool things and the reasons they like her. Then Clementine gets worried. Will her classmates have enough cool things to say about her? Clementine gets an idea. Can Margaret, her best friend who's a year older, give her some advice on things to do to make the other kids say kind things about her? Or will Margaret let her down? Well, if you like a great school story about our favorite girl named for a fruit, you will love Clementine, Friend of the Week. Check it out.
In the book Breakaway, Lily James, called LJ by her friends, is a fantastic soccer player. She and her friend V, who's more mild-mannered, are hoping to be selected to play on the state select team. Lily is determined to do her very best at the game when the select team coach comes up to watch the different players. But she's so intent on showing what a great player she is that she forgets to be much of a team player. In fact, she gets angry with some of her teammates and throws such a fit that her coach yanks her out of the game and sits her on the bench. Oh dear, how is Lily going to learn to control that anger and focus it so that she can be a good player on her own, but also help her team? A great book for those of you girls who love sports called Breakaway.
In the books of Elsewhere, The Shadow, this is the first book in a series where Olive Dunwoody and her parents move into a new house on Linden Street. They've never lived in a house before. They've always lived in an apartment, so it's kind of exciting, but the house is a little different. Olive's mom and dad are very, very smart mathematicians, and they're always busy working on their special work in math, so it leaves Olive plenty of time to explore the house and meet 3 cats that live in the house. Well, Mom and Dad say the cats were there first, so the cats get to stay. But these are unusual cats. These cats can talk. And this cat tells him, "This house does not want you. You better be very, very alert and take good care." So she's a little nervous, but looking around, and she's very curious. Well, she discovers that there's beautiful paintings all over the house, and she finds these awesome glasses that when you put on, you can actually go into the paintings. Seems like a great idea, but not necessarily. There's an evil man lurking within the paintings who's trying to hurt Olive and her family and get them out of the house that once was his. Will Olive be okay? Will she move on and keep her parents safe? We'll have to see and see what happens in the next book too. If you like mystery and you like adventure and lots of magical, mystical things, you will like the books of Elsewhere, The Shadow.
Boys and girls, how many of you have thought about what you'd like to be when you get older? In the book Theo Boone, Kid Lawyer, Theo Boone is the son of a mom and dad who are both lawyers, and that's what he wants to be when he grows up. He often takes papers over to the court in the afternoon after school, so he knows a lot of the judges and people who work there. The most exciting thing to happen in his small town is getting ready to happen at the court. A very wealthy man who lives in a neighborhood by the golf course is accused of killing his wife, and the trial is about to begin. Theo knows that the case seems pretty weak because there's no eyewitness to the crime. One evening, though, while helping tutor some students at a local homeless shelter, a boy comes up to Theo and tells him that he has a secret to share if Theo promises not to let anyone else know. The boy knows someone who saw the man kill his wife, but this witness is afraid to come forward. What is Theo going to do? He can't let a guilty man go free, but he's promised that he'll keep this secret. If you love dramas and you're thinking about being a courtroom star yourself one day, check out John Grisham's Theo Boone, Kid Lawyer.
In the book Billionaire's Curse, our hero, Gerald, has great plans for his winter holidays. He's going to go snowboarding with his very best friend when they get a phone call that his great aunt has died. He's very confused because he did not even know he had a great aunt, much less his parents seem pretty happy about it. So the next thing he knows, instead of going snowboarding, he's on a private plane going to London from his home in Australia. Well, things get stranger still at the reading of the will when he finds out he has inherited his aunt's billions of dollars. Well, as you can imagine, there are a lot of unhappy people, and to make matters worse, his aunt has left him a letter telling him that she has been murdered, and she wants him to find out who murdered her. Well, those same people that murdered her are now after him. Will he make it? Will he be able to get through this and find out who murdered his aunt? You have to read the book to find out in The Billionaire's Curse.
In BFF Breakup, Brooke and Madeline are best friends. Well, Make that past tense. Were best friends. They met in 3rd grade and they were inseparable. Great sleepovers, pool parties, shared secrets. They plan to be best friends forever. Fast forward the clock, it's now middle school. New classes, new kids to meet, and Madeline meets a girl named Susanna, who is kind of unkind and mean and teases Brooke in a mean way. Madeline doesn't stick up for Brooke. Can their friendship survive these sticky situations? Will Brooke dump Madeline, or will Madeline dump Brooke? Well, if you like a great book about friendship, heartbreak, and reconciliation, you are bound to enjoy BFF Breakup. Museum of Thieves is a great new fantasy book at your Cardinal Lane book fair. In book 1, we meet Goldie Roth, who has lived in the city of Jewel her entire life. All children there have a silver guard chain so that they are protected by the blessed guardians. And they have that chain until separation day. Goldie's excited. Separation day is coming up and she'll have freedom. When it is abruptly canceled, she breaks her chain and runs away. She ends up at the strange and mysterious Museum of Dunn, and she meets another runaway by the name of Toadspit. Can you imagine a name of Toadspit? Can Goldie figure out the strange and weird museum with its strange and shifting rooms? Will she be able to outwit the blessed guardians who are trying to capture her and have put her family in grave peril? Well, if you like fantasy, Harry Potter, Fablehaven, other wonderful, wonderful fantasy titles, you're going to love Museum of Thieves. Check it out.
In the book Everything for a Dog by Anne Martin, we learn 3 very different stories that somehow come together in the end. We have a stray dog named Bone, born in a barn with no one to care for him. He does find a family, a man and his wife who seem to really love him until a new baby arrives and there's just not room for Bone anymore. He then goes to live with an old man, but that doesn't last forever either. We learn about Henry, a young boy who really wants a dog, but his parents say absolutely not. And finally, a boy named Charlie, who is getting to know his brother's dog Sonny now that his brother is no longer living. What can these 3 different characters have in common? If you love animals and you love a book with a bit of a mystery, you'll want to check out Everything for a Dog. All right, students, I want to know how many of you have ever eaten rhubarb. In fact, how many of you have even heard of rhubarb? Well, if you check out the book Drizzle, you'll learn about 11-year-old Polly Peabody and her family who grow rhubarb on a magical farm. Rhubarb is a vegetable, by the way, but this magical farm even has rhubarb that tastes like chocolate. That's the kind I'd like to try. Polly's family is a little unusual, and Polly is certainly that way as well. Her very best friend is a rhubarb plant named Harry, and she believes that it talks to her by moving its leaves and stem. Every Monday at exactly 1 o'clock in the afternoon, it rains at the Peabody Rhubarb Farm. That keeps all the plants nice and healthy. In fact, school groups and folks love to come and watch the rhubarb, go to the educational exhibit, and even ride the giant umbrella sky ride at the farm. One Monday at 1 o'clock, it does not rain. Polly wonders what has happened. The next Monday, it doesn't rain. To make things worse, Polly's brother Freddie seems to have gotten some kind of mysterious illness. Polly wonders if her Aunt Edith, who left a fancy life in the city to come help at the farm when Polly's grandma died, is Aunt Edith perhaps trying to make sure that the farm goes out of business, there are some magical secrets at Polly's rhubarb farm. And she's going to have to find out what is happening to keep the rhubarb from growing, to keep the rain from coming, and to get her brother well. A great fantasy for those of you that love books like Fablehaven. Check out Drizzle at your fall book fair.
We have a wonderful new series at this fall's book fair. It's called The Animal Rescue Team. It's about a girl named Keisha and her mom and her dad and her two brothers who run Carter's Urban Rescue Team. Their job is to rescue animals that are, well, not where they're supposed to be. In the first book, Gator on the Loose, there's an alligator in the city pool. What to do? Call Carter's Urban Rescue. They have lots of adventures and lots of fun. If you enjoy a funny book that lots of crazy things happen, you'll enjoy Animal Rescue Team Gator on the Loose.
Students, if you love yummy desserts like cupcakes, you're going to love a yummy new series at your book fair called The Cupcake Diaries. In the first book, Katie and the Cupcake Cure, Katie is headed back to school after summer vacation. Her best friend, Callie, has been at summer camp. But when Callie gets back, she doesn't seem to be the same person that Katie remembered. All of a sudden, Callie seems to care about clothes and boys and things that are not what Katie is interested in. Katie happens to meet some new friends at school who love to bake like she does. In fact, Katie's mother makes delicious cupcakes, and she thinks of lots of new recipes. Katie and her new friends decide to form a cupcake club, since they're not allowed to be part of the popular girls club. Well, these girls find out that making, eating, and even selling cupcakes can be lots of fun. These books even have recipes in them if you want to form a club yourself. So don't forget to check out the Cupcake Diaries.
Students, Gordon Corman has done it again. He's written a great trilogy, The Titanic. In Book 1, Unsinkable, we meet 4 unlikely friends on this voyage. Patty, a stowaway who was escaping his criminal past. Sophie, who was escorted to the ship by the police. Juliana, who is an aristocrat, but her father has gambled away the family fortune. And Alfie, who is a new steward. This is his first job, but he's got a secret that would get him kicked off of the boat. As the ship sails out, these 4 unlikely friends don't know it, but they face grave danger. In Book 2, Collision Course, our 4 young heroes discover that there is a murderer aboard the ship, a murderer whose name is too scary to even whisper his name. Even though the Titanic is a huge ship, they become entangled in a maze of mysteries, and there are few places to hide. As the ship hits an iceberg, their journey becomes even more dangerous. In Titanic 3, SOS, it's every man and woman for themselves. Disaster has struck. The unsinkable Titanic is going down. In this deadly race against time, what fate awaits our young heroes? Will they be able to save their loved ones? Well, if you love a great adventure story, a page-turner from the very start to the exciting conclusion, check out Titanic Trilogy by Gordon Corman at your fall book fair.
Do you like all kinds of crazy facts? Do you like to know the things that are most gross, most disgusting, most original? Well, Weird But True Facts number 3 has 300 weird but true facts. I'm not going to tell you a bunch of them because that will give it away. But did you know that sometimes crocodiles walk across the river on the backs of hippos? Weird but true. So if you want to know weird but true facts, you should pick up Weird But True 3 at your book fair this fall.
Who was Dr. Zeus? I love Dr. Seuss and his silly tongue twisters and his cool illustrations. In Who Was Dr. Seuss, we find out all about his childhood, how he grew up, and how he got into drawing and writing children's books. Did you know that it usually took him between 500 and 1,000 attempts before he got each page to look exactly the way he wanted it to do? And did you know that 1 out of every 4 children, their very first book is a Dr. Seuss book? Well, if you like Dr. Seuss as much as I like Dr. Seuss, you're bound to enjoy learning neat, cool things in Who Was Dr. Seuss.
Reading in the rain, just reading in the rain.